tonight you played, and you played with ferocity. You played with intent. Is that the way you do whenever you go to the stage?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's a rock and roll show, and I want to be the best that I can be. I want the band that I'm playing with, these three guys are my buddies, and I want to go out there, and that's how it should be. That's how rock and roll and the drum set should be approached in this style of music. So it's really important you play that way. Yeah.
You guys are all kind of like-minded that way. I think you set on a great bunch of guys for just that thing.
Well, absolutely. You know, that's what it's about, and I think the songs too, the music itself, generates that kind of vibe. You naturally have to play this music that way. You can't sit down and play it with small sticks or thin strings or just simply standing there. You know, I mean, if you don't put your all into this, it's not going to come off like what you saw tonight. So it's very important that you give 100%, and then at the end of the night, you're hurting from it. You know, that's how it's done. That's how it's done.
So you feel good whether you're in a stadium, in a big outdoor festival, or in a little club?
Absolutely. I think you need to put on the same show wherever you are. I think as long as you control the situation is going to come off any way that you want it. Any way you want it to come off to. And it's just really important to play the same show every time you play. Can't vary it because you're playing a smaller venue. Not at all.
You have to tell me how in the world you come up with a way of filling in all the holes when you play guitar. Oh my God, you got so much to do up there.
You know, you just feel it.
He's helping you out like crazy down there. He's providing the beat for you.
And let me.
The music is flowing out of this man.
Well, let me give them some of the credit because, you know, they know when to fill up the holes when I am doing a certain thing. Like Pete knows what thing to play, which actually adds a lot to that whole aspect. But you just have to feel it because if you're playing with two guys, you can play a lot of single notes and things like that. But if you're playing by yourself, you really have to play more chordal type of stuff. Even when you're playing a fast passage or something, you end on a couple notes or two or three notes instead of, you know, just the one note. And always, I learned that from watching Santana. He always knows and fills up the whole. Stevie Ray Vaughan, guys like Jimi Hendrix, all those guys, they were the king of playing like that.
Oh my God, I was just very taken by your stylings and all that. And when you do play, do you try to actually emanate anybody, or is it your own style?
Because of the great players that played in this band prior to me, I do somewhat play in the style of those guys just to keep it true to the song.
Very good.
But I do my own thing, and they are my own solos. I mean, obviously, I would play differently if I was playing, you know, bluesy stuff or whatever. I would try to fit the moment for whatever is called for.
That's so good. You hit exactly where I was trying to go with the question without me actually asking. Thank you. Manny, your vocals.
What about them?
They're driven by your heart. They're driven by your lifestyle.
Yes.
Is there anything that can change the way you do approach your vocals?
No, because I believe that you have to be real, and you know, if you just express yourself in the way that you truly feel, then you are a unique individual, and I think that is the single most important thing for any musician. You can be the greatest drummer in the world, you can be the greatest guitar player in the world. If you don't have anything of your own, you got nothing.
Right.
Same thing for singers. You know, you can be a great singer, but people like Bon Scott, you know, he's not much of a singer, but he's one of the greatest rock vocalists ever.
Exactly.
There you go. He was his own man, his own thing.
And watching guys like Ronnie James Dio and all these guys that tell the story,
Right.
I think you're whether you know it or not, you're in that category.
Thank you.
You tell a real good story.
That's a great compliment. Thank you.
Well, it's just you can see it when you're out there. You convey the vocals. You get them out there to everybody.
Well, again, you know, it's when you say something, you got to mean it. It's not about the notes; it's about the emotion. If you can get the emotion across, then you've accomplished something.
You are a communal person because I've seen some of the stuff that you've written on websites and all that. You're not afraid to stand up and talk to people.
No.
That's
Again,
a good thing in this day and age.
I agree, and again, to me, that's what rock and roll is all about. You know, just go out there and let your balls swing in the breeze. You know, just show people who you are and see who likes it.
This style of music doesn't bother you at all, whether you're worried about it going this way or that way, because everybody's out there always trying to compare. You play what you play.
I 100% agree. You have to be true to yourself, and then you will truly be immortal, you know.
People will come to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have to ask you one bass-related question. What happened you heard the day Entwistle died?
I was crushed. He was my biggest influence that made me who I am. His the B-52 jet engine sound that he had is that's where I'm coming from, and that's what I'm doing.
And yet he was practically a statue when you looked at him, but my God, impact.
He was an absolute god. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I do some solos that do a lot of Entwistle type passages, just in tribute to him, just because he was the man. Period.
Next time I see you play, I got to get you to do some Stanley Clark School Days.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's roll it.
That's a deal? Okay. Is there anything as far as videos coming from you guys? Do I need to know this? DVDs?
Well, in fact, the next tour we're going to be recording. I guess it should start in like what, about 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah.
Something like that. We're going to be recording it and probably create a video out of it as well.
We will get a video from you.
I would think so.
Good. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing to the VidDream viewers?
Yeah, keep your eyes open for this band. We're going to be back at the latter part of the year, and if you miss it, there's no reason to go to any other shows because they're not going to compare. You got to come see this show.
You better listen to him. He's been playing arenas since he was like 16. He knows what's going on. I don't argue with him.
Good. Last thing you'd like to say?
Well, I think I'm going to have to plug the websites, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. I expect website, MySpace, anything.
There's 3 of them. One of them is the official website, which is mandyliononline.com. Then there's MySpace band page, which is myspace.com/WWIII Mandy Lion. And then there's a personal page, which is myspace.com/Mandy Lion WWIII.
And you're not afraid to answer people?
No, in fact, I answer about 800 emails a day.
Good God Almighty. Anything you'd like to say in closing?
Make sure your daughters are locked up and your doors are closed, because we're coming back.
There they are. We're closing up. This is the TINK, your Administrator of Sinister. This is World War III, and I took them to you, and they're not getting away. You're going to see them again right here, aren't you? You want to come back, don't you?
Hell yeah.
Don't you?
We're absolutely going.
Enthusiasm.
Yes.
Yes. See ya.
Consider it.
Peace.